And then I look over and the shaman has turned into a cloven-hooved devil. His assistant had turned into his demon concubine. Out from the ground rises this tree that is covered in blood and severed limbs. I'm Jenny Zigrino, and this is the time I did ayahuasca and saw the devil. I was going through a really rough time in my life, probably going through a breakup. You know, I have an eating disorder, so I was really dealing with like all of that stuff. I need to figure something out. I need to get clarity in my life, so why not just go do hallucinogenic drugs in the woods with complete strangers? And before you do ayahuasca, okay, it's very important, there is a fast that you have to do, okay? And it is a fasting of things that take your energy. So you're not eating meat. You're not drinking alcohol. You don't have sex with somebody you love. You aren't allowed to fight. So on that Saturday morning, I had bacon. I had sex with someone, but I didn't love them, so it's okay. And then I fought with my sister terribly. Perfect, let's go. My headspace is amazing. So we go up to this house, and it's nighttime too, so it's like dark out there. We're in the middle of nowhere, and there's probably about 8 or 9 of us. There's a shaman, and then there's a shaman's assistant. Then the woman starts handing out these bowls. And I was like, what are these bowls for? And they're like, oh, you're gonna throw up. And I was like, I'm sorry, you're talking to a bulimic? I'll tell you when I throw up, okay? Thank you. We do the ceremony, and we all sit back in our spots. People are laughing, they're crying, people are throwing up, and I'm sitting there zen being like, I am light, I am love. I think I looked down at my blanket and I was like, okay, that's there. And then I look up and everyone's gone. They do not exist. And suddenly, out of the ground came these mountains covered in blood. Okay, so there's like, right off the bat, a lot of blood. And then I look over and the shaman has turned into a cloven-hooved devil. His assistant had turned into his demon concubine. And then from behind him, out from the ground, rises this tree that is covered in blood and severed limbs. I'm sure this would scare a lot of people, but there was this moment where I remember there was a little jewel inside my heart, and then there was this voice that came over me. This is hilarious. You're a comedian. Use this. I'm like kind of laughing to myself and giggling because I'm like, this is pretty funny that of course I would see the devil. And then as I close my eyes, I'm going through fractals and snakes and ladders and like all this shit is moving. It's actually kind of nice. And then I remember thinking to myself, yeah, Jenny, you didn't throw up. You're a champ. And immediately threw up. Just immediately grabbed the bowl, vomited. It got taken away by the demon, and I was like, great. I'm like waiting for this guy to come. And then I get that moment, and this happens when you do ayahuasca, is where you have to shit. I ran up and I went to the bathroom, and I remember just being like, man, no one showed up. And in front of the toilet was a painting of a woman, and she's like, yeah, what a bummer. And I'm talking to this woman, I'm like, I spent $500 on this shit. And she's like, yeah, what? That's fucking terrible. I need to like figure my shit out. And then she's just like, nah, you just gotta get through it. Yeah, you're right. I do just have to get through this. This is the lesson. This is what I gotta do. And then the knock comes on the door, and it's the concubine, and she's like, you've been in there for an hour. And she like guides me back. No one's the devil anymore. The devil's gone. I see my friends. And now the shaman has turned into my grandfather. And my grandfather, he's been dead for a long time. He used to be a cantor in the synagogue, and he starts singing, but it's very comforting. I'm starting to feel that love. I'm starting to feel that light. Like I see the sacred geometry that like connects us all together, and I'm feeling like this well of love, that little gem is just like getting brighter and brighter. And then I look over and I see these 2 blue glowing eyes looking directly at me. And it looked and it turned into the eyes of an owl. That owl is my guide. All seeing, all observing. That is what the comedian does, right? The comedian is the observant owl who sees all, who is wise, who is quiet, but knows so much. I am the owl. The owl is me. And then I realized that the eyes were just the blue lights glowing from the refrigerator that was like,
time to change your filter.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? Sometimes you gotta change the filter of life, right? So then it started to wear off, and everyone's like, so how was it? How was it? And I was like, it was was weird. Did I figure anything out? No, not a fucking thing. But I think the thing I got from it was like, all the stuff that you need is already inside of you. You know, ayahuasca, mushrooms, DMT, all this stuff. It helps bring that up so that you can see it. There you go.
Tales from the